I've got two GoPros running at the moment. On this side I've got the GoPro HD Hero 5 Black, which came out a couple of days ago, and on this side I've got the HD Hero 4 Black. Now what I want to do is compare both cameras in a relatively low light situation to test both the audio and the 4K video. Now both cameras are set exactly the same. They're set to 4K 30 frames a second on NTSC, just because I like the speed of that and the look. They're set to wide view, Pro Tune, flat profile, 800 ISO maximum, sharpness set to medium. Both cameras have got auto audio, auto white balance, so pretty much everything is absolutely set the same. And you can see I'm running the HD Hero 4 from a Samsung Galaxy S4 and the HD Hero 5 from a Samsung Galaxy S7, and you can see there what I'm seeing. So both images look almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same. It's just the screens are different on the phones. So you know, both of them, the Wi-Fi works brilliantly. All I want to do really is compare what they're like in low light, and also, like I say, what the audio is like. So the audio on the HD Hero 5, you can set it to do all this kind of funky stuff with regards to the wind noise. It's actually got 3 microphones on it, so if wind is hitting one of the microphones, it will switch to the other 2 and kind of muffle that one. It works kind of well, but you do get a slight variation in audio as you're sort of moving the camera about, so could work really well. As you saw earlier, I had it on the car, or on one of my other videos, I had it on the front of the car, and at relatively low speeds, up to like 15-20 miles an hour, it actually cut out a lot of the wind noise, and you could hear the engine, you could hear whatever else is going on. As soon as you go a bit faster, then obviously the wind's hitting it too much. But it's definitely better than the Hero 4 for audio in that respect. I'm going to switch from one to the other in a second to sort of see the difference. Then I'm going to split screen and do whatever I can to make the comparison. But the stabilisation doesn't work on 4K on the HD Hero 5, but it works on 2.7K, which is brilliant. So again, in the other video we had it on the front of the car, made a huge difference. When you're actually walking about, just nod to the table there, when you're walking about with the cameras, you will see some difference. The stabilisation definitely works, but really you're never going to really film walking about with a camera in your hand. You're going to use a stabiliser, or you're going to have it attached to something. No one I know ever makes a film when they're actually walking about with a camera. These are going to be used for sports, for skiing, for attaching to cars, to bikes, to all sorts of things, in which case the stabilisation comes from whatever they're attached to. But having the camera on a car or inside a car makes a huge difference. So I filmed myself inside the car with the HD Hero 4 before, and you do get some jolting about, some juddering, especially when you go over bumps and things. But with the HD Hero 5, when you're in 2.7K mode, what it does is actually crops in a little bit and gives it room to buffer. So you'll see in the car video that it stabilises it beautifully, both when it's on the bonnet filming ahead, and when it's inside. It just looks so much better. So for me, the stabilisation works really well in that respect. So if I'm vlogging from the car, or if I'm filming something from the outside of the car, maybe I'm following a wedding car, or I've attached it to a wedding car, it's just brilliant. I think it's going to work really well. But like I said, don't expect too much from the HD Hero 5. Don't expect to run around like a lunatic and get the most perfectly stable footage as though you've got it on a stabiliser. It's not going to do that. It's an electronic stabiliser, so you do lose a bit of crop, and then it'll just buffer and it'll hold within that frame. So let's, for example, say that this is the frame that you get for 2.7K or even 1080K. What it'll do is actually crop in ever so slightly, so that as you move, that square inside will actually stay within the actual square, but you'll lose a bit of resolution around the outside. And obviously the more jolty you are, the more kind of resolution you'll lose. But on the car it worked really well, like I said. So let's switch from one to the other, because at the moment I've got both cameras audio on the timeline, so you're hearing me from both cameras. So let's switch now to the HD Hero 4. So you're only hearing me now on the HD Hero 4, and you're only seeing me on the HD Hero 4. So I think the audio has always been pretty good. And I should say at this point that both cameras are in their frames, respective frames. So the microphones, I'm not sure where they are on the cameras, but they do have slots that you can actually hear through. So yeah, they're both in the frames on mini tripods. So you're hearing me now on the HD Hero 4, and I know that from the HD Hero 3 onwards the audio really did change a lot and it became really good. HD Hero 4 was very good. So yeah, I already know that with this camera it's going to be good for quick blogs, quick vlogging. You don't need necessarily to attach external microphones, even though you can. I think it's good enough for a very quick blog and that kind of thing. So that's the HD Hero 4. So now we're going to switch to the HD Hero 5. You're now hearing me on the HD Hero 5 and you're seeing me on the HD Hero 5. And I think the audio is there or thereabouts. I've heard it with the auto tune things on for the audio, but I haven't heard it necessarily without. So this is on exactly the same settings as the Hero 4. So hopefully there's a slight improvement. But like I said, it's already pretty good. I think the only adjustments they went for is the kind of wind noise and the 3 microphones. So maybe you're hearing me much clearer because of the 3 microphones. But really, that's the comparison I wanted to do. Looking at these screens, I think both are sharp. Obviously, the screen on the Samsung S7 is much better, but I'm hoping that they're both going to be pretty sharp. I'm going to render them out exactly the same, so they're going to get the same treatment. So the cameras are set the same. They're going to get the same treatment in whichever software I decide to use, and then render them both out at 4K. I may not even bother correcting the distortion. Obviously, like I said, the distortion, yeah, with the new Hero 5, you've got the linear mode, which means there's no distortion. It's just flat and straight, like a normal video camera. But you can't set that in 4K. You can only do it in one of the smaller resolutions, 2.7 or 1080. So you're seeing both of these as they come out of camera. Like I said, they're in ProTune with a flat profile. So if I do some editing to it, if I do some colorization and things, I'll do exactly the same on both. So you're seeing them exactly the same. I may even split them so you can see the before and after. But that's really all I wanted to do for this quick video, is to just show you the difference between the HD Hero 4 Black and the HD Hero 5 Black in a relatively low light situation, to test the audio as well.